po ng, livestock para makita nyo po. Para nandiyan na lahat. Pero kung may kulang, text nyo lang.
So ito po yung pinaka-framework po ng National Livestock Program. As you can see, at the middle of everything, at the middle of everything is the triangle na to, is the breeding tier. Meron po tayo sa taas yung nucleus farm natin, multiplier farm, and production farm. So yung sinasabi ni Yusik kanina na nucleus farm, yan po tayo maglalagay ng mga purebred animals, superior genetics. Yan po yung bababa dyan sa multiplier farm. Para po yung multiplier farm, magkaroon po ng quality stocks. And sa multiplier farm na production, yung mapuproduce po ng mga animals dyan, we go to the production farm, wherein dyan po bababa yung yung magpuproduce po ng milk and egg. And then, together with processing, and then babasa. Siyempre, of course, of all these processing, kailangan ng food safety towards sa export market or other cultural exchange. And then the different intervention strategies for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jonathan, and for sharing the plans and programs of NLP. So yeah, any questions po again from the media? Yes, ma'am. Bill.
I have a question po. Vic from Blogger po. Sir, in what is in the DA addressing the evolving challenges and opportunities posed by sustainability, animal welfare, and regulatory compliance in the livestock sector po?
Sorry, your question is addressed to
DA po, Department of Agriculture.
Can you repeat your question, ma'am?
This is regarding the evolving challenges and opportunities posed by sustainability and animal welfare and regulatory compliance in the livestock sector po.
Okay, so regarding to sa number one, the sustainability, so in the DA or the livestock program, we are encouraging yung mga sustainable farming practices sa livestock sector. For example, syempre kailangan yung animal, kailangan may katumbas din yan na pagkain, di ba? So right now, our programs are not just giving out animals for racing, but also tinatandem na namin siya doon sa production ng feeds and forages. Yun is a requirement namin actually for you to have these packages of animals. So hindi lang siya basta magbigay ka ng animals, pero dapat meron din siyang kaakibat na pagkain. And also, binibigyan na rin namin ng pag-process ng mga produce ng animals. For example, for eggs, we are giving out incubators, for cattle and or ruminants. We are giving out mga forage cutters, or shredders, para mag-produce na sila ng feeds. So yun po sa sustainability. Even the waste ng animals kayo, meron din kayo mga programs to process the manure, drying or spray drying manure. And then for animal welfare naman, standard. So ito, advocate naman talaga RBA nito to the Bureau of Animal Industry sa animal welfare. We are still complying or we are still implementing and yung policy natin ng animal welfare in terms of number one sa for the regulatory compliance, improving regulatory compliance, ang directives nga sa atin ng ating secretary is to really incorporate natin not just regulation, but also yung developmental side of regulation. I mean, that means we are now practicing facilitating regulation. So, hindi naman i-relax yung regulation, but we have to facilitate those individuals or farmers to comply, para makakomply sila doon sa kailangan na regulations sa DA. Yeah, I think that should answer your question.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Jonathan. And yeah, any more questions for Ms. Rose as well for the livestock policies?
Yes. Good morning, I'm Edmond from Manila Bulletin. My question to Ms. Rose. How was Informa's expertise and global network contributed to fostering collaborations and driving innovation in the livestock and aquaculture sectors in the Philippines?
Thank you for the question. I would put in this way, Informa Markets has office around the world. So we have the livestock show, Farm Progress in US. We have Agrame in Dubai and few of the show in Asia Pacific. So we have the network of our team around the world. And the important thing is we have the network of the speaker. I give you example. I understand a bit of Filipinos language. So there is a question around biosecurity. I would give you example that if the car that transport the pig from, let's say, Pangasinan area into Manila Metro, if the pig has disease, it can easily carry over through other region. So biosecurity will cover guideline by DA to control even the transport of the pig. Okay, this kind of biosecurity it has to implement, and it's very close to you. I give other example. ASF disease. It's not harm human. Do you know that? You can eat the pig, but the pig can die if get the ASF virus. You know why they stop importing the pig meat? The reason is the pig meat, if have ASF, it can stay in your fridge for 3 months, and it can go back to the farm if there is some carrier forward. This is kind of thing biosecurity that Informa can bring expert to share in Philippines. I give another example. I heard about El Nino and how it affects the livestock sector. I hope everyone eat egg, everyone eat pig. Okay, you know that poultry, the chicken and pig, they stay even more comfort than us. They need certain temperature. They can't stay in 35 degree or 46 degree. There is a lot of ventilation that farmer has to put to cooling the pig, make the pig happy. Then their muscle gonna be good. So it's back to that mean a lot of energy that farmer has to use to cool down the farms. So this kind of thing, the El Nino will affect a lot in terms of energy usage. The production of feed cost is 80% of the food production. At the end, it will affect us, who is the consumer. So the cost will go up. So this is the reason why getting farmers to reach to the technology, how they can use energy efficiently in using the ventilation, how they should put the farm not attached to the sunlight to reduce the temperature. All this related to produce chicken on the plate in the next menu for you. So this kind of thing like the El Nino effect, the sustainability approach, the animal welfare. You know my country, Thailand, we export a lot of chicken We are number 4 in the world. In that 1 square meter, they said you can raise only 6 chicken. Cannot be more than 6 chicken because it's torture chicken. The chicken is not comfortable. It's not follow animal welfare. Pass or not pass, the importer will define. So this kind of thing, non-tariff barrier is forcing us as the farmers to do the better for the animal we raise, and it's an effect to the cost of meat on your plate. So I think it comes already that Philippines need to adopt technology. Pretty farmer, they feed pig. Okay, how many days? That 100 kg of pig can be slaughtered. Anyone have idea? So the pig is 3 months and 3 days. So it's about that to earn 100 kg. But if it's hot, if mother pig is hot, they don't eat. So it's not 100 kg. So the farmer has to rest longer. The poultry, Jollibee chicken on your plate, 2.5 kg, 2.2 kg. How many days
45? 30.
Yeah, my country around 30, 35. Philippines is 40 plus. So meaning the longer they're taking care of the chicken, the cost will be on the chicken. So this thing is, I think here we need technology in helping farmers. They should know what they feed, what they get, then it will be sustainable. Otherwise, in next 10 years, you may need to import all the chicken because the next generation, they don't want to raise chicken anymore. So we really need to encourage innovation and development in the country. I hope this kind of event around Asia could help every country to raise the part in production. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose, for answering in full details and citing examples. And I hope that answers the questions of Sir Edwin Magban.